Thanks for watching and thanks for waiting. Hey, this is Them Parts, and I'm Nicole, and I have
No
my
face,
co-host.
no
No,
face, no case.
no face, no case in the
Back
house.
at it again.
Hey, what's up, no face?
And the lovely.
Gina Ortiz.
We out here.
Me?
We have Gina in the house. I call Gina actually No Face named her the voice of reason. Okay, so
You know, I'm
obviously
gonna call her. I think I want to call her the Oracle.
the
I'll take
Oracle.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
To live up to.
The Oracle is here. She's she. That means she's fair and wise. That's what I
Right.
think of when I think of Oracle. Fair and wise. Okay, so the topic today is, are women destroying men, or are men playing the victim? All
Mm.
right, we just jumping right into it.
It has to be one or the other.
Ah, good point. Good point. Because two things can be true at the same time.
100%. Yep.
Mm.
No, I was just hedging right there. So,
I mean, it's real
yeah,
talk, though.
that's true too. That's
Mhm.
true. Like, because they both could be true at the same time. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that women are destroying men. Though I think they was destroying relationships.
Mm.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. I
Okay.
I think
like
that I think that the relationship really depends on the woman to steer it and to like basically to take the wheel of the relationship, and she's crashing the whip on the interstate for sure.
Mm.
But that ain't that a little opposite of y'all saying y'all want to be the leader and
I
she follow?
We lead the household, we lead the family, you know, but in the relationship, the dynamic of the relationship goes where the woman drives it, you know. So it's a subtle difference. I think it's a nuance where it's just a nuance within the relationship. She sets the tone literally
Mm-hmm,
for the relationship, how they treat each other, and a man's not gonna be mean to a woman who's sweet to him. You know, a man's gonna want to communicate. He's gonna reciprocate. He's gonna kind of follow her when it comes to how they treat one another and kind of match her energy. Because you know, men aren't as good at that kind of stuff, and men are more petty when it comes to like when they get their feelings hurt, then they turn
right.
straight. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So them being
Especially when it comes to women.
right, so them being petty is also going to be them saying something to hurt her. So when you say a man is not going to hurt a woman, um, he will. Being petty, just being a person.
Are
We
you the
heard
police, man? Is everything I say gonna can and will be used against me? Well, my point was that he's not gonna be like
number
he's not
one.
gonna if she says something that offends him, he's not gonna be like, why would you say that? That really hurt my feelings. He's gonna come right back with that energy, and then
Right,
so
and that's when he should be the leader.
Mm.
It makes me think of this story Will and Jada told when Will checked Jada because she had got out of pocket with him in front of a crowd of people, and this was at the beginning of their relationship. And he's
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith and she's Jada Pinkett, but she was like he checked her so hard, so respectfully and just directly that she
About
never.
not cussing in the relationship. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
couldn't think of a worse example you could use. You know,
so only because you know so much into their relationship now, but before that, you didn't see nothing for about 20 years, but just love and respect between them. So I'm talking about for the 20 years. Most people ain't even getting 20 months out of a motherfucker before it goes bad now. So I think I gave a really good example because Will
You
is a
did.
very, we know that until he slapped Rock, we ain't seen him do nothing out of pocket. So I was surprised that he checked her like that because
Okay.
we know he's crazy as fuck about Jada. He loves Jada to death, but he was ready to drop her and everything for disrespecting him. But you're saying that when your woman say something to you, you're gonna be petty about it instead of just checking her right then and there. You don't have to be
that's not
petty.
what I was saying. I was
Straight.
saying that
That's where the leadership comes in. You want her to set the tone of the relationship, but that's where the leadership comes in. You're supposed to set that tone.
Okay.
From him, Gina.
No, but no. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I think our women, I mean, you guys know I always the whole the absolutes kill me, that we do. Like, oh, women are this and men are this, because I think every circumstance is different, so it could be, it could be the woman, it could be the man. But I definitely think a person in the relationship somebody needs to have some level of emotional intelligence and vulnerability to be able
Right.
to express themselves enough so that you can grow and thrive and be, have a good healthy relationship, essentially.
That's what I was. That's what I tried to say. And I think that the woman is more equipped to take that to take that role in most relationships
Well,
because
unfortunately, you wrong about that because a lot of people nowadays just ain't equipped with the things that we
Just ain't
used to be.
equipped, period. You can stop right there.
right.
Just ain't equipped. Stop. Like, period.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So just knowing that you should know that you got to work with people. You
Mm-hmm.
got to give some grace and you got to give some direction because we coming from different backgrounds. I
Yeah.
might like you, but I don't know what you like and what you don't like unless you tell me. But you want to hold it in and give little sly little signals instead of just telling somebody straight out what that you don't like that petty shit and you don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of
Well,
letting it go on or giving back the same energy. That's why a lot of women nowadays, I'm not
That
using that for
part.
women, but a lot of women nowadays think men have this feminine energy because you guys are just giving us the same energy back and you telling us, I'm giving you the energy you giving me. Like,
Well, and women too. Like, I think women are taking on a more masculine position of energy, and like you said, and some women feel like men are taking on a more feminine energy, and
they
then you're
are.
and
They're
then
arguing with women and getting so in their feelings. Let them tell it. They're just logic and no emotion. No feelings in it, but let them get mad over the smallest thing. And you don't see nothing but emotions and feelings going crazy and not making no sense. And I mean the YNs, the young niggas.
is that what a YN is? Because I was
Yeah,
curious.
yeah, I just found that out. I
Thought
tried
that's what it was.
yeah, I just found that out earlier.
I cannot.
You had to book
I
that one
didn't
off,
know
huh? Just got that shit in the chamber.
I
that.
cannot with y'all. No, but and see, and again, that's another thing I don't agree with. I just had this conversation with my brother the other day. It's not about young or old. It's about just maturity, and age has nothing to do with that. And
Okay,
that's
I
and
agree with that.
that's where we're losing it. Like, we're calling the quote unquote young generation or the old generation this, and it's like it's all about your level of maturity, not your age level. Like, and so if you are immature, then you're going to respond as such. And so many of the communication out right now, especially around dating, is even just friendships, right? Is like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
reciprocate your energy. It's like,
Yeah,
to me, I'm not gonna reciprocate
I
anyone's
ain't got time for
energy.
that.
I'm gonna be whoever I am first, and if you have a poor behavior and poor attitude, I'm gonna have a conversation with you and discuss that with you, but I'm gonna be me in doing that. I'm not just gonna come at you crazy,
Or I
because
ain't gonna be around you
right, yeah,
because
Yeah,
your
exactly.
them
energy
part.
don't match
Hmm.
mine. So I'm
Right.
not gonna be around
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what my point was is that I think that that is a thing where the male where the kind of the roles are reversed, and I think that women are naturally more inclined to do what Gina was just saying, as far as just staying within her feminine energy, regardless of what is going on with the masculine guy who might be in his feminine energy also, because
you.
she can like control. She can control the tone of the interaction, to control the tone of the relationship and the standard of respect that's required through the relationship, by how she operates and how she treats him.
She
You
could
know,
if she knew how, but a lot of young ladies now don't know how. A lot of
Well,
right?
young
and I
And that's,
think
ladies now don't know how. So yeah, you're right.
a
She
lot
should
of
be able to do that. But yeah,
well,
people.
I think it's just a lot of, like I said, a lot of women and men don't know how, right? Like
Right.
just
Yeah,
humans
people.
aren't just we're not behaving well as a collective. Like,
No, at
like
all.
I mean,
But he's blaming it on the women, like we have some superpower to just know things automatically. Either we're taught or we see it and we learn from it. Neither one of those things are going on nowadays.
man, I'm not blaming though. I'm just,
But you
I
are
think,
blaming though, because there was actually um, a a time when men knew that they had to put some work into their women to get them the way that they wanted them to be. Like they had to raise her to be their wife, right? But you guys don't want to put no work in. You think she comes already with all the knowledge there is to know how to treat her man, take care of a house. A lot of women nowadays don't even know how to take care of their babies. There's a lot of stuff that's missing. But the stuff that you're talking about, a lot of women didn't have even back in the day. They weren't taught these things. So it's a part of communicating, and nobody's communicating. Everybody's just bitching back and forth and giving energy back and forth, and
well, because the narrative is like is very egocentric. It's all about am I going to be the one that's going to win?
yeah,
yeah,
The win is our success together. That's the
yeah,
win.
as a
Like
couple,
it's not
right?
about
But now it's me against you
right.
instead
Yeah,
of us against the world.
exactly. Yeah.
It always turns into that. Mhm.
And I think you can say
That's
that
ugly.
that's true not just in couples, but just in the dynamic, just the climate of the world right now. That the dynamic is all about, not finding common ground, but rather finding, how can we be in conflict?
yeah. It's the duality
Mm,
reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Very,
But
very sad.
I think that's a
So
bird. I think that's something that the woman, that we need the women to to steer, because men aren't equipped to do that.
No,
This
but
is
I
what I'm
think.
saying.
Oh, sorry. No, please go ahead.
You're gonna be waiting forever, because men, especially in these day and age, like men are like kind of, they're like, I don't want to, they're a little more feminine. They're a
But
little
even,
effeminized.
so
but
it sounds
even
like they ready to take the wheel and do what you want us women to do.
Not in a good way, not in a stoic way, or not in a submissive way. They're feminine in an emotional way, not controlling their emotions, lashing out. You know,
mhm,
getting too butthurt, getting outside of their frame, getting off their square.
Yeah.
And two people definitely can't be like that.
right.
Yeah, two people can't be like that. But women are. I think women are more capable when dealing with their significant other, with taking with communicating when they're feeling a certain way. Because men don't ever want to say, "Hey, that hurt my feelings." Be like, "Well, fuck you," type energy. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Well, I think too, I think some of it is like embracing. I'm probably going to get so much hate for saying this right now, but like just embracing that inner pimp, if you will.
I like that shit. That's what it is. That's what it
They
is.
they need to like there's a man can get us women to do so much if they just
Oh,
and not,
so you talking
I
about?
don't mean that in a like a negative way. I mean like we will really kind of rise to the occasion that they want to see us at if they show us how to get there. You know what I mean? So like if they take off their mask in the way of I'm so hard or trying to be the tough guy and just have some of that kind of pimp energy, if you will, of like, you know, gassing us up a little bit and allowing us to see where the place we hold in their life, then you're going to get a different dynamic from the woman.
I mean, that's so crazy that you said that, because I heard that recently. Something very similar to that recently.
Where you hear that at, I wonder.
It was another crazy woman talking crazy. You're like telling me, you're basically saying that you want to be manipulated,
No.
but
No.
then you want to.
You manipulate
Well, I
you're
think
doing what
everything
you
is
want anyway.
Well,
right?
everything is
Without
manipulation.
the kindness and the love and the gassing up, like Jen said, you're doing it all with a heavy hand, and nobody's gonna follow that and
I
listen to you.
mean, I don't think you guys understand what comes with that type of. You got to build. You break them down
It's
and you
not
build
a
them up.
world,
It's
Georgina.
but see, I'm
You
not.
can't talk to people in metaphors, and you can't do that. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I'm not saying like put her
Somebody
on the poster,
actually gonna get on
right? Yeah, I'm not talking like the dynamics of a pimp that are positive are about the pimp, and you're right, it is manipulation, but manipulation is there anyway in a
It
relationship.
sounds bad. It sounds bad when you say it, but nobody's saying to manipulate any women or put anybody on the street. She's talking about the mindset
Oh, I
that,
know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
right? The mindset. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm talking about I'm talking about the qualities of a pimp that are positive, for lack of a better word. Like in the way of they know they need to do something to get you to do, and I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about in the sense of like being abusive and yeah, I'm not talking about somebody getting on the host roll I'm just talking about
No, I understand.
the quote unquote dynamics, right? Like of those qualities are it's a man who is finessing a woman, right, in order to get what it is that they want from her. And I think that if we focus more on how do I get more from my woman and how do I get more from my man, like what would I need, right, in order to do that, and use that to communicate and have that dialogue with another person, then we're going to get more out of them versus trying to be in conflict to get what we want. Like, I mean, if
And
you think about just yourself, your kids, if you have kids or whatever, like if you're trying to get, even just when you go to the store to try to get something free or get a credit, or like the way you speak to them, right, is not confrontational, right? The way you're speaking
great
to them
point.
is in a way where you're trying to gain something from them. So you're trying to have some middle ground, you're trying to have some understanding, you're probably
Right.
being vulnerable. It's just these are just natural qualities that you can do. I'm sure these people can do and are doing likely in other scenarios, but for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason they're seeing their partner as a competitor
Mm-hmm.
instead of a true partner, which is causing the friction.
Well said.
Thank
Well
you.
said.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Did any
I
of
just
that
think
make
it's
sense
just
to you?
yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like in a fairy tale world where manipulating is only positive, but when you if you're gonna if you're gonna get her to react positively to positive energy, then there has to be a yin to that yang. She has to feel the opposite of that in order to appreciate. It's like you're rewarding her when she does what you want her to do, and you're punishing her, so to speak, when she doesn't. So you can't have it doesn't work if it's just you have to have that polarization in order for that to work. So you can't just be sweet all the time, or it doesn't work.
Well, let's explore that premise. So you have to be sweet all the time, and that doesn't work. So how would not being kind not work?
Because it's just the base. It becomes the base level. So you know, a person in general, whether it be any mammal for real,
Mm-hmm.
if you treat them you treat them the same way all the time, then that becomes the base level. That becomes the standard. So it's not like, oh, this is No Face is being sweet to me right now. He likes what I'm doing. It's just that, oh, No Face is just at his base level.
But
If
you
I'm
could
always
be,
that way,
that's a fair point. But you could be kind to me and still tell me you don't appreciate a behavior that I'm displaying.
but then that's not pimping though.
But yeah, but we're using pimping in the colloquial sense, like in a slang, right? Like
Yeah,
not
yeah, same. Me too. Me too.
right, not in the actual sense. So it's like that. I mean, it's just like what I tell people all the time. It's like you can't fight a brick wall. So if you're coming to me with feisty or conflicting energy, just toxic energy, if I'm always being kind to you, eventually you're probably gonna walk away if you're just looking for conflict, because you
I
can't
think
you can't keep fighting someone who's being kind.
exactly. That's what I was saying from the jump. Because a man is not going to be able to just keep on. I don't know. I don't even. I mean, this shit is
Is that
not going to work out. If she's staying in that calm state, and the man is getting mad,
Hmm.
and then
No,
she's showing,
turn that around. Turn that around. You
Nicholas,
um,
stay.
you're staying in the like if you're constantly being kind to a woman, like you're not. They're either gonna leave or they're gonna adjust their behavior, and vice versa. I mean, the same with a woman and a man.
Nobody's saying simping. Nobody's saying
yeah. So
manipulate.
I'm saying that I'm saying it doesn't go both ways. It doesn't work both ways like that.
So you
She
don't
wants to,
go ahead.
yeah. When a woman wants your attention and you just stay being calm and cool, she's gonna turn up more and more and more till she gets a reaction out of you. It's not the same as what a man does. A woman's trying to get a woman's trying to get you to match her energy, and she has the power to do so more so than a man does.
No,
So
she's got
she's
more power than you.
yes in that type of interaction. Yes, in the relationship interaction.
Power than you and tempting you to get with her, and she's got more power in getting you angry and out of control too. She's got all kinds of power over you.
He
Yes,
said
that's what I'm
yes.
saying. And with power comes what?
Responsibility.
Responsibility.
Exactly, and that's the problem. That's where Nico's hung up on because when I'm
That's
saying that
not
the woman has this power,
what
and then she just wants to keep, she wants to just keep. Also, the woman's power, and she wants to dwell on that part. But
the
I'm
woman
saying with that power
does
comes
have power.
responsibility.
I agree with that. But the man has power too. You
Mhm.
have to understand that she does not know her power. So you have to show her her power.
Or he doesn't understand his power. I mean, it could be both ways. Like you could have the same dynamic, but like if you and I are dating, no phase, and I am being just irate constantly, I am. If you're being kind to me, I eventually have no place to be irate because then now who am I? How am I
I mean,
about?
maybe you specifically, but not not all women. Because women, if they're
I think any human, like you can't like there's no you're going to leave. That person is going to leave because they're not getting what they want. If they want an arousal, they want to get you upset and you're just being calm consistently through, they're going to be done, they're going to be bored or upset or whatever it is they're doing
They're
because
not
you're
getting what
you're
they
not
want.
reacting to that. You're setting a boundary and setting expectations for them about how they need to show up, and either they're going to rise to the occasion or they're going to go away, or you're going to ask them to go away.
yeah, I mean that's true. Of course, it's true, but I don't think that men are. I don't think that even myself. I'll say myself specifically when it only takes so much, and they're pretty. Women could be pretty unrelenting when it comes to like trying to get a rise out of you. You can't just ignore her. Like people think, I hear people say that too. Like a bitch will attack you if you try to ignore her or walk away. You ever
Mhm.
see these things? You see it on YouTube. A guy's trying to, these girls are different. They're a different breed. You can't
Yeah,
just like
I've seen some
be like, how dare you ignore me? How dare you?
I've seen that. I've seen aggressive women. I've seen all of
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
online.
I've done these things.
Also have to get there. It doesn't start like is she just getting aggressive and talking crazy on the first date. Um
no, hell no.
Well, and that's exactly what
7 months
Nicole.
in, when is this aggression showing up? And why aren't you checking it before it gets to that you can't even handle it now?
Yeah, and
See how you keep victim blaming? I don't like it.
You're not a victim.
well,
You
no,
are
no one is.
someone who can handle his atmosphere and his surroundings. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, Gina.
Listen,
No, you're fine. I was just gonna go back to the point you made about Will Smith. So Will Smith, Jada was used to probably being very masculine in her prior relationships, and she cussed. She had arguments, and she would cuss at her mates, and
Mm,
prior to
mm,
Will Smith. And so what happened was she cussed him out, at a
mm,
party, and
mm,
he was just like, "Hey, check this out. I don't do cussing. That's
mm.
not. I don't do that. Like." We will be done. It'll be over
Yep,
today if you ever
yep,
do that again. Like that. Like
yep.
now, and that he wasn't being unkind, right? He was telling her what it was. He was being respectful, but he was setting a boundary and then setting an expectation. And then he asked her, "Do you understand that? Are you in agreement? Because if
Mhm.
you're in agreement, we can move forward. If you're not, then we can. And she
Mhm.
said, and in that moment, I knew if I do this again, as much as he does love and care for me, he'll be gone. So if that woman then proceeds to behave like an idiot, for lack of a better word, after that conversation, then you're well in your rights to, excuse yourself from the situation and the relationship.
I mean, I think that that's a good story, but I feel like we shouldn't be using examples of Will Smith. I mean, is this the
That's
nigga
so
that?
ridiculous that you. It's just an example of two people
Right, right,
that
right, right.
real life situation, and you need to take.
But I don't believe that that actually happened because I know that that story came out after. But I'm gonna just switch it up just a little bit, okay? For comic relief, all right. I'm
Yeah,
gonna need, but I think I really believe that Will Smith shouldn't be used as an example because his bitch was fucking his son's friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
there
And he
was
still
a
stayed
lot of
with her.
toxic things going on in that relationship, no doubt. But I think just, I mean, you can change the names, right, of
you're
people. I
right. You
think,
got to take what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
from people from real life situations because you know what? We all go through these same real life situations in a relationship. You know what I mean? Their example, you have a similar example. I have a
Mhm.
similar example. Gina probably has a similar example.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank
But
No,
you.
for sure, for sure, for sure. And that story, it's a
it
good and
doesn't.
that
But
type
you
of
want to
energy,
know
that type of
people
energy
that
definitely
we're
works.
using, and we're using these people specifically because Will Smith was looked at as a sucker, and like Jada could walk all over him. That
I
is
mean,
the point.
yeah, yeah. Can we stop using those ones? Because he is a sucker. Okay,
That
that
is
was some damage
so.
control. That was a damage control story and shit. That came out after August, whatever his name was. It came out that he was smacking, the girl Jada.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Damage control story. Damage
Yeah,
control.
but I think the premise of it
But
all,
the point, yeah, I
So
know. I'm
you're
taking it.
saying it would not work in real life? No.
just,
Okay.
I mean,
No, it will. It definitely will.
yeah, I think men and
So
women
why are you
allow too
arguing
much.
the point so much? So you think it'll work, but you want to argue who it happened.
Yeah, yeah. Because like, if you don't follow people that, if you don't want the outcome, you don't take the journey that they take type shit. But even though that is, if it works, it works. But if that was a real story, then that shit obviously didn't work,
How
right? Am I
it had
right?
been 20 good years where we see
Well, if
nothing
it is,
but this.
I don't care how good it was. If it is with her fucking your son's friend, then the shit didn't work. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
but see, that's
So
not
it doesn't matter if it's work. More
but
than likely, it's not. It's going to
And
end.
he's still with them. And he's still with her.
It's going to end some sort of way. So
well,
why
it's
not?
working for them. I mean, they have whatever their standards are for working is relative, right? Like, but I think the point is not the end of the relationship, but rather what does the journey of the
The
relationship
journey,
look like?
right?
Yeah, and I think
Enjoy
that
their journey.
if a man could get himself to that, if a man can compose himself, that is like I can't think of a better way to address this type of situation than that. The way that they
Hmm.
um that
Yeah,
way that story
even if
was
it is
told.
a fictional story, it's still valid in the way of how you communicate and set boundaries and hold people accountable for what you expect of them.
Right. I don't know if I could have did that though.
Well,
You
maybe
know?
you should challenge yourself.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I really
What
yeah.
what would you have done? No face.
I'm like this bitch got me fucked up and just never talk to her again.
Or you would have cussed her back out right then and there on the spot.
No, I don't argue with girls at all. Ever. Well, I have though, of course.
Okay.
I was young once. But you can't argue with a woman. That's like trying to that's like trying to fight a silverback. You can't. You're not gonna. Yeah, you're not gonna come out feeling victorious, and she's not gonna come out feeling like, oh yeah, he had good points. That's what's the point. That's stupid. But I wasted a lot of good points
Wasted.
arguing with you.
But
you know.
I think that's part of the problem too,
You
right?
can roll right over it.
Is like like the problem is like we have these preconceived notions about one another, right? Like,
Ooh,
oh,
yeah.
this because you're a woman, or because you're a man, or because you're black or Hispanic or white, or because like I can't in the world I live in deal in those type of narratives. Like I just want to be successful in the life that I'm living. Like those things may be true, but when I come to you and communicate with you, I'm communicating with you. Again, it goes back to some of our prior conversations, out of a place of love. Or at least I'm trying to. It's not that I don't get mad or upset or frustrated, but I'm trying to communicate so we have a balance, a connection. A Like if my goal is to connect with you, whether that be friendship or romantic, whatever, then I have to be accountable to that, to myself. So that means if I'm showing up crazy or negatively, like, and even if I'm not being, even if my partner or whoever isn't having a conversation with me about it, I need to be self-aware enough to recognize that in myself, and have that conversation with whoever that other person is, so that we can better connect with one another.
Well, yeah, that sounds that's correct. That sounds nice, but I don't know. I never seen it executed on the level that you're representing right now. I've
Well,
never seen it. And if you do that, then you would be an anomaly of anomalies from what I've experienced.
It's hard to do any of it when you're actually in it, number one.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
I
So,
mean, to me, it's definitely a practice, but I think you get, it gets easier over time, right? Like, I think you might have a knee jerk reaction and, say whatever, but you can easily pause. Like, if we just think about what we're going to say before we say it, you can get a lot, what is the saying? You get more with honey than with vinegar.
yeah, but not just that. It's like we all are looking at things from our own perspective, and we never really look at it from the other person's perspective. Put ourselves in their shoes. Really.
Well, hopefully that's not true, right? Like, if I mean, I've been in disagreement with people before, whether relationship or just, family, friends. And I'm always looking at it. I'm always trying to look at it rather in like the whole, everybody, right?
Mhm.
All
The
the
whole picture.
variables,
Hmm.
because I know people don't think like me, and I know I don't think like other people, right? So I'm trying to understand. I think if like one of the things in this conflict resolution book I read a couple years ago was seek first to understand rather than to be understood.
Right.
Yeah, how many women have read that book?
Well, I think it's just a matter of how many people, right, have what is the goal? Like, I think is the question. Like,
There you go.
when you're in a
There you go.
relationship or friendship, what is your goal? Is the goal for us to be in conflict, or is the
Right.
goal for us to grow in something together? Because if we understand that it's you and I against the problem, then we're going to have more success in trying to have resolution rather than being in conflict.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But it's like, and I've heard these things before, and I agree with these things. These are the things that I don't really preach them anymore, but that I believe in. But I just don't never see it. I never see it.
I mean, I think we've done it even here. You and I, no face. I think we've displayed that here, right? Like, even you, Nicole, as well. Like, we could easily get hyped up off of comments one another makes, but we're trying to understand each other first, right? So we're not. I mean,
No
maybe.
saying no. He's just trying to make his point and make himself right because that's all he wants to do. He ain't listening, Gina. He loves the way you sound, and he knows you bring a lot to the show. So he gonna let you. He like, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna let you finish, but he gonna come up with a, yeah, you right, but like he always do.
But see, I feel like No Face's spirit, though, is very, he has a high level of understanding,
Uh
even
huh.
though he may. troll a bit, or even maybe really feel this way. But I think it's really no face. I don't want to talk about you like you're not here, but I think some of that is just because of the experiences you've had that have maybe
Ooh.
left you jaded, you know.
Oh, she's saying who hurt you? No face.
You
Who hurt
know,
you?
it's funny though. She didn't say who hurt you,
Oh, but she did though.
but she did though. But she didn't say that though.
Right, I know. It was very sweet. That's
So,
what I said. She got, man, she got her way with you. Mm-mm.
no, because you know, if you
Thank
say
God
who
we
hurt you,
got her
it's
though.
dismissive. It's like you're dismissing
I
what
know the pain.
yeah.
I know, and I'm mocking it. I get it. And I like the way she said it, but I'm letting you know what she's saying.
Well, we're all broken, right? I
Yes,
mean, we're
yes.
all broken from something or someone, or, I don't think there's any, you know, fixed human, right? I mean, I think that's part of
Mhm.
the journey as well. But I think it's just having some compassion for our own broken parts and being able to. So if a woman
And
or a
see it
man,
in others.
exactly, yeah, being able to see it in.
And give him some grace for that. That's what I be on you about, no face. That's it. Is that you don't seem to give the same grace that you want. You know,
Mm.
that you
No, I
may not
disagree.
thing and know how to handle certain things, and that she may not either. Just because she's a woman, don't mean that she knows. That's all I'm saying. And you put a lot on her. She don't know.
Right.
She's coming from somebody who probably didn't know. She probably ain't seen it. Her mama could have been on dope for all you know.
Oh, you know what? You're making me think of a good like parallel here. Like I
Okay.
think like how parents, I think most of us put our parents on a pedestal and we're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Oh,
our mom should have done this and our dad
yeah.
should have done this. And it's like, hey guys, this is the first time they were ever a parent. And even if you have siblings, right? Like this is still nobody gave them a book, nobody said, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. So it's like recognizing your parents are a human being
Oh my
and
God. They
they
would never
don't,
realize that.
yeah, like they don't have any more to give except from the place that they were given,
Hmm.
like that's it, and if they like you said, Nicole, if they've never seen it, could they learn it? Sure. But if they didn't, it's like, how do we have grace and compassion for the areas that we don't, we didn't learn or they didn't learn? And I
Right.
think this humanity, and it's hard, I get it, because I'm very, as much as I'm singing kumbaya here and being peaceful, yeah, humans get on my fucking nerves, like honestly, like I cannot tolerate a lot of people, like, I mean, it's hard. So like,
Yeah.
but it's patience, it's about patience. It's about I have to learn about me and know, okay, this is where I need to be better, and I need to hold some space for somebody, and I need to have some more grace, and I need to understand, while that might not be my limitation, this is theirs. I have to understand the world is not only seen through my eyes, but it's seen through yours,
Yeah.
no faith, and yours, Nicole. And, it's all very different. And how do we come together to build versus tear each other down?
Ooh.
I mean, you keep on doing that side stuff. Like that's what like that's these are things that I do.
No,
These are
I'm
these are
not.
the things. These are the things like, and I'm listening to her, and it's hard for me to like have a rebuttal because I've said, people that know me, I haven't said these things on here, but I made the exact examples, especially when it comes to the parenting thing. That's like one of my things that I say, like as far as giving your parents grace.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have kids, it helps you understand. Like I remember when I was looking at my first baby, when she was a baby, and like saying like, wow, man, it's crazy because we all started out like this, and then whatever I do to this baby was going to make it what it is. And then you start giving everybody grace when you put it into that perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
then it makes you have a better relationship with your parents because you give them grace and you don't hold them to that impossible standard. Because
Right.
if somebody disappoints you, then that's because your expectations were too high. So you need to, so that's between you and yourself, that you need to adjust that so that people won't be able to disappoint you, because people are who they are, type shit. Now Nicole over here
Them parts.
acting like you cooking me over here, but
Them
really
parts.
it's just that I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
Mm.
And
well,
I
and that's the problem, right? Like, who's winning, right? Like that's the problem in dialogue. It's like we're trying to find a win instead of just trying to have collaboration, right? It's like there is no win. I'm not winning, you're not winning. We're just having a conversation, and you're agreeing and I'm agreeing with you because valid points are being made, like I mean that's what we should be doing more, especially in romantic relationships.
Yeah,
Here,
and
here.
I think it's easier to do that when I think it's way more difficult when the emotions get high when you're dealing with a woman and her emotions are high and the stakes are so high and she wants to she just wants to control you, you know? That's how I be feeling a lot of times.
Feelings are in it. That's when it gets difficult,
It's
man
the
or woman.
it's your mindset about it, right? Like you and I are having this, the three of us are having this conversation, and Face, I have your guard down and are not defensive because you're like, I'm in a safe space. Yes, we're in disagreement, but like you said, maybe you feel like the emotions aren't high, but it's like the only thing difference between this moment and a moment when you're with a romantic partner is your thoughts about the situation. So if you have the same thoughts, if you go into the situation with the same thoughts of now, of like, I'm going to give these people grace, it's a safe space, we're going to have some dialogue, even when they say the craziest shit to you, or even like you said, maybe they are trying to control you, you can still respond from a healthy place instead of going down, the rabbit
But
hole, with them. And it sounds like you don't do that anyway, so I'm not trying to put that on you, but I'm just saying, you in the proverbial sense.
that
Right.
ain't the only difference that we're giving each other grace. The
Hmm.
difference is our hearts ain't in it. We're just conversating with a person that no matter what you do is or say, it's not going to affect my life. And I can knock it right off. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But when you are with somebody and you're in love with that person, what they say hurts. It makes a difference. Your feelings are in it. So you're either trying to hurt or to keep from getting hurt or the opposite.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. We're in control of our emotions. So nothing in that scenario is different except our thoughts about it. So in our mind, the low, I don't want to use like low and high, but that's the only way I can think to say it. Like your low level or your ego self, in your mind, you're thinking, I'm in a romantic relationship, so I have to be in fear of conflict, right? Like, because you're triggered or what, like your thoughts about it are what create a negative dynamic if it's negative. If you can just be in that same moment and be like, okay, I love this person, I hate that we're having this difficult time, hey, can we talk about this, instead of being on 100 and cussing somebody out, like what
Right.
is
That's
that
how
going to do?
you handle it. That's how you handle it. But I'm saying the difference is because your feelings are in it, you can it's harder to handle it as emotionally sound as you're suggesting. He can handle it and take your advice and let you talk right now
Mm-hmm.
because he ain't got no feelings for you. You ain't his baby mama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But let her try to say even half the shit you just said. This nigga
Yeah.
would have lost his mind by now.
But okay, so that's it. You know what, Nicole, you make a
But
great point.
but you're so wrong though
So I was
because
exaggerating, but I was making
because I'm the one I would be the one that's she
making
this is the
sense.
same thing that I deal with, you know. I give a lot of grace. I know how to I have an intrinsic um empathetic trait about me where if somebody has a problem with me, I instantly just like how Gina was saying, I instantly ever since I was a kid, I never had to learn this. I
Mm-hmm.
instantly try to figure out what it is that has them feeling like this.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never gotten anywhere, but I've only dealt with a handful of women on that level. So it's not fair for me to generalize like but I've seen so many other women too. It's like and it's not like a natural thing that all women just are like that. But I think that due to society and the way that they there's no really accountability that we can hold them to, especially as men, as significant others. there's no there's no reciprocity when it comes to when I do that. So when you see that persona, which is not only a not only just no face, but it's also like a persona that a lot of men put on in order to be able to control the situation and be able to navigate um, a positive outcome when dealing with these wildebeests. It comes from there being a consistent it being consistently showed to you that they're not capable of doing what you're saying that is healthy and what I try to practice. They're not going to reciprocate. They're not going to match my energy because they're going to eventually get me to match their energy before I do that, and that puts me in a completely disassociated state, which only infuriates them more and leads to worse things. You can't just ignore a bitch away anymore. Like, I don't know if that's ever a thing, but I know I've dealt with and seen other women when men are trying to ignore them and brush them off. It only pisses them off more because women are so used to being in control and having an upper hand and being like abusing that a power that they have within the dynamic of the relationship as the leader of the emotional aspect of the relationship, that she's just you just can't do that. She's gonna crash the fuck out in a lot of cases.
Yeah, so let me
So
go ahead.
yeah, so even though I agree with what you're saying, it's just that the women these days aren't don't have those skills and definitely don't exercise them and never feel like they're it's something that they need to work on at all.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
like just
that's
like Nico says, everything she's just like a perfect example of everything always being falling back on the man as being the man's fault.
No,
mm,
I'm
No
actually
matter what.
a perfect example of that. I just push back when you push forward because you say everything is the woman's fault, and that can't be. That's all I'm telling you. When there's two people in a relationship, both and it goes bad, both parties are responsible.
yeah, everybody's at fault. If it goes wrong, everybody's responsible. I
Right, and
mean,
that's all I be saying. I always give fair points to both sides. So I don't know what you're talking about,
Cap,
like pushing.
that's big cap. Because if one of your girlfriends if one of your girlfriends is complaining or something bad happens in a relationship, you don't say, "Well, it's your fault too." No, you don't do
oh
that.
no, I do. Oh no,
And
Well, I'm talking to
I
Nicole.
can
definitely do.
call
I
my
will.
friend right now. We can call my fucking friend right now, and she hates me because she's like, "Okay, bitch, what you gonna say? What did I do wrong? Okay, you got me fucked up,
That's what I
Nico.
always say too. I'm like, "Well, what the fuck
You
did you
don't know
do?
me.
Well, what
You
did she
don't know
do?"
me. You don't know me. I look at both sides. I'm God's advocate, not devil's advocate. There's both sides. So when I push back, it's because you're not recognizing what you did to make her that fucking crazy.
You
Because
see what I'm
people
saying? You see what that's a part
know.
I did to make her crazy. Maybe the bitch was already crazy when I
Yeah,
found
no,
her.
no, no. And you're absolutely right, no face. Like we need to be accountable for our behavior, right? Like like yes, people can
But
say things
okay,
to us.
so you went and had kids, two kids with a crazy bitch. Okay. So she was crazy and acting a fool and hollering and screaming when you met
See?
her, is what
See?
you're
No, no,
saying.
no, she wasn't. No, she wasn't.
Okay, exactly. So you had a hand in why she was crazy. But
No.
you
No, the
didn't.
bitch's horns
All
came
you
out when she
all of you guys have a hand in it's all of us. We're all having a hand in destroying each other.
Yeah, we all
The
have a
race
hand.
if the relationship goes bad, both people had a hand in it. That's
Hmm.
all I'm saying. I'm not saying that maybe she had more of a hand than you. But
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
saying, no, I didn't do nothing wrong. That's
Hmm.
impossible. You what are you, God? Are you just know all the right things to do and say to make a relationship work? You did nothing wrong. That's just stupid. That's all I'm saying.
well then you're engaging in
Taking
absolutism.
no accountability.
It's not that I said that I'm perfect and I did nothing wrong. It's just that
You
I didn't make this
you
bitch crazy.
said I did
I
nothing
didn't make the
wrong. Period. You
I
said
didn't
that.
make the no, because I didn't make her crazy and I'm not the reason why the relationship ultimately came to an end. Only because I put an
You
end to
had
it,
no
but
part. You had no
Well,
part in it. I know.
I
I
think
know.
I think
That makes
every
a
I
lot
think
of sense.
I think no one ever wants to be at fault for the relationship going wrong. Like, first off, let me just say that, because even in my past relationships, that's always a thing. And I've heard, exes I've had who said, I didn't, I don't feel like I did anything wrong. And I'm like, okay, that's,
Right, what can you
that's
say
your
to that?
choice. I'll
Well, if
respect
you
that.
did you leave? Did you leave them?
Did
Did you
I leave? No,
end the
I didn't.
relationship
No.
ended?
Yeah, I didn't leave them. No. In fact, in one particular relationship, I wanted to make it work. But see, that's the thing. It's that
That's what I'm saying.
that's what I'm saying.
If,
Our fundamental problem is we're trying to find blame. We're trying to be
Right,
like, I left you, or they left me, or
right.
this is what. And it's like, you guys, we didn't do this together. This thing we set out to do together, we didn't do this well. We didn't do this well. It's not you. It doesn't matter if you cheated or you whatever did the thing. There's so many different layers of what occurred in this relationship to get us both where we are, where we, the relationship is over, it's dismantled. And I just want to make a point. You had said, Nicole, something about, I'm gonna get it wrong,
That
but
was a good
whatever.
point you just made. Let me point that out real quick. That was a great point you just made.
Oh, thank you. Well, because you said, I think here's the thing. Because in my professional environment, there are oftentimes people that I don't care for will say something that makes a lot of sense. And because of my level of just self awareness and emotional intelligence, I have to mentally check myself, because just because I don't like that person, I can immediately be like, fuck what they talking about. Like, fuck, like, even though I logically know you're making 100% sense. So I
Mhm.
have to separate the information from the person. And
Mhm.
that way I can say, even this is a gem I'm getting from this person I don't like, but I'm gonna
Or
still receive the gem.
period.
Right. But it's all about, that's why I say it's all about how we're thinking about the situation that will change the dynamic of everything and everyone we engage with.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Yeah, that is absolutely true because good information is good information, no
Right.
matter who it comes from. And you can
Hmm.
learn from other people's experiences. So that's
Hmm.
why we told the Will Smith Jada Pinkett story. It doesn't matter that it comes from them. It's two people that had an experience that you can take some tips from. Even
Hmm.
if it's made up, it still
Hmm.
works.
Yeah, the story itself. Yeah. Hmm. Agree.
Yeah. But man, yeah, gee, that was a good point. Well, we had two other kind of uh topics pinned for this. We don't have much time for all of them, but we'll move on to the next one, which is, do you guys think society is pushing this divide between men and women?
Absolutely, yes, I do.
Okay.
100%. Because it's a market. Because like, it's the easiest thing to market, whether it's rap or R&B, or you know what I mean. Like, the fight. My brother told me this years ago. He said, if we can create divide, then we can have more control, right? And whoever the proverbial we, right, in that equation, I don't know who's gaining from it, but because we're all losing in that race. But I absolutely think
Oh,
that's the point, to how can I create more divisiveness between you all, so that you are doing this,
oh my God.
instead of doing this, having some
Yeah.
unity.
Just look at the divisiveness right now. Everything is broken into separate groups. Everything. First, it was just black and white. Now, how many races can you choose from if you're filling out an application or anything? How
Hmm.
many genders are there? How many levels and classes of people are there? We are broken down into so many that you can't do nothing but point fingers and group up into groups now.
Hmm.
But
Well,
it ain't
even,
supposed to be
and
that
I
way.
think we're all responsible for that. Like, even, I even some of the shows, like, even with this podcast, Nicole and No Face, like, there's been, conversations about Democrats and Republicans. And I always just shake my head, because I'm like, this is the problem. Like, you're creating a narrative about a group of people, and in that people, you don't even know them, but you're putting stereotypes, which is what we do, right? And it's accepted
Mhm.
of, well, Republicans are this way, or Democrats are this way, and men are this way, and women are this way, and Latinas are this way, and black
Black
people
people
are
are
this.
this
It's
way.
just like that's our problem. Like if we continue to do that, we will continue to be a broken society, and it will continue to get worse and worse.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the whole game plan that they're executing on us.
Yeah, but their plans always work. It's so stupid. Like
Because
they
we're
always
stupid. Because we're so
Exactly.
stupid. We're just like cattle. We just follow right along into it instead of
Right.
being like, okay, wait, what can I do differently? Or even you said, no face, about like, some of the women in different relationships and how they respond, and you're like, well, a man has to respond this way. It's like, but it's not working. It's not working. Like, so the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So it's like, we apparently, men and women, have to do something differently if we're not, to prevent us from going extinct, frankly.
Ooh, whole fucking society going extinct. Nobody having no kids no more. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild out here. Well,
And all we doing is fighting amongst each other.
Hmm.
So I think we can get to the next topic. The next topic is, how do we rebuild trust and unity in relationships? Let's hit on that before we close out. What do you think? How do we rebuild trust and unity?
women just gotta listen. It's really simple. It's really simple. Find a man to follow.
I heard that. What do you say? Find a man to follow.
Yeah,
Okay, no
women
face.
need to listen
I
and
like
find a man
that.
to follow.
No face. Find a man to follow. I like
Find a man to follow. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's even a sound plan because I don't know. I don't deal with men that much. Not in that type. Not on that level.
speak for
But
men um uh pretty heavily for you not to be able to say that we should follow them.
we'll say it again. The first part.
You speak for men pretty heavily or strongly. You vouch for them. You're for the man on this channel. So if you can't speak for men to say maybe there ain't none that we could follow, if you can't even say that,
Well, here's the thing. There, hey, the one I'm not gonna say it. Fuck it. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go. I don't want to.
No,
I
say
don't want to. I
yeah,
don't want to light that fire. But yeah, if you find you a lot of women will end up finding following the same guys, unfortunately, and that's a big fucking problem.
no, okay, light that fire. Go deeper. Explain.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there's too many. There's too many. There's not enough men to follow. So if every woman there's if every woman couldn't follow just one man because there's not enough that will lead you will guide you and lead you in the right direction and you'll be safe with.
That okay, you trying to sugarcoat what you were saying, but that
I
the
mean, no, but I'm just saying. No, I'm saying what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you know what I'm saying. There's not. There's
say
not.
it how you
Yeah,
say it.
because I don't know that I'm following what y'all are trying to say, because I don't believe in that premise either. I
Well,
know
I
that
don't understand.
that's another very publicized premise and narrative that they try to make you believe. But I'm like, I don't
What is that? What is to make
like
sure that
that there aren't enough like it's that idea of like you have to settle because there aren't enough men in the world for every woman to have a man or whatever. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
to me,
ridiculous.
to me it's just a lack, it's a lack mindset because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
numbers
yes,
don't
it is.
actually add up to that.
You guys are trying to fear us into fucking with the least of y'all. It ain't gonna work. Stop. No, no face. What you're trying to say, what you were initially sound like to me, what you were trying to say is that we are following the wrong type of men. That's what it sounded like you was trying to go. Am I wrong about that?
yeah,
I'm wrong
but that's
about that.
normal. But that tracks. What I was saying though, what I was saying was that in there in
Show's over. You don't. So I will be
well,
reminded of checking that because I believe that's where you was going. I think you flipped it, but
no, what I was saying basically what I was saying was women to find themselves following. There'll be multiple women following the same guys. if you had to follow some guy, if everybody had to follow somebody and not follow some sucker that's going to end up leading you astray, is what I was saying. Because there's not enough men to follow for every woman to follow one man. That's what I was saying.
Okay, so you were making, so Gina had the right answer. She made your point.
Yeah,
I,
that's what I thought he was saying. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Which I mean, hey, people want to follow, people are okay with that lifestyle. Like
Yeah,
some
there's
people
folks.
want to follow
There's folks like
multiple.
Nature Boy, whatnot. Yeah. So
Mhm.
there's things like that.
Yeah.
There's something for
yeah,
everyone, actually. But the ones that are complaining act like, and they're saying that there's not something for everybody. That's
there's literally not. And if you look at the numbers, there's
what
more women
number?
than there's men.
So what? And so
So that
what?
means that there's not. That means every woman don't have a man for her.
But like I just
Um,
said, there's things like Nature Boy situations where it's like 20 women and one guy. There's some people who are gonna group up like that. There's enough for everybody to get something.
yeah,
But
there's the
the way that you're putting
LGBTQ
it is like
community.
there's scarcity. Um, I've never gone outside and been like, "Oh my God, where are all the men? There's no men out
Yeah,
here.
same,
There's
same.
I'm saying
only
that
women
all the time.
like
Yeah.
Where are the good
everywhere."
men at? Like, I'm gonna say that all the time.
I'm not talking
Again,
about
I
good
think
men.
that's
I'm
just a
just talking about
narrative. I think that's
yeah.
just
Your
a
narrative is saying that there's a lack of men, as in
Oh shit!
people. Okay. And then you got
Oh,
to narrow it down. On top of the lack of men, then you got to narrow it down to good men. But my problem is that you so called good men lead women in the same, they end up in the same situation as when they got with the bad men. So I'm just wondering, like,
I don't know what a good man. I don't know what a good man is and what's a bad
I didn't
man.
think you did, but you, what would
I
you
know what
consider?
I think. I know what I think as a good
What
man
do
is,
you
but
consider yourself? Let's just
oh my god.
there. What are you? No face. Are you a good man? Are you a bad man?
I'm the best. I'm
Are
the
you a
best
good
man.
witch? Or are you a bad witch? Okay, so no face is the best.
No,
Okay.
I mean that's my mentality, but
Yeah, that's
I
your
don't.
mentality, but let's look at your relationships and your women. Is your women in any better shape than any other black single mother who going through it and struggling? No, your
No,
women
she's
ain't no
not.
better. And you're
I
a
mean,
so-called
on paper,
man.
if you check on paper, you'll think that everything is good, but yeah, on paper they look. I mean, yeah,
What you mean? What that mean?
that means that she's doing just fine.
What does that mean? Y'all together?
No, that's the only part. That's the
Okay.
fucked up part for her.
She's
But
doing bad all by herself. Or she's
yeah,
doing just fine without you. Whose point are you trying to make here?
no, I'm
Mine.
saying like I'm trying to say what are you trying to say? Because I said on paper it looks like she's doing just fine. It's not like she's hungry. Not she's starving. It's not like she
But
everything ain't.
that's not because of you. I'm talking about if you're
Yes,
a good
it is
man,
because of me.
you pat yourself on the back.
It is because of me.
Together. What do you mean? It's because of you. If you saying y'all together and you put her in that position, or you left her in that position,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
don't
but
even know your situation, and I don't believe that. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even believe that. But if you got her, let's say you put her in a
who
situation.
who hurt you? Who hurt you, Nico?
Oh, there you go.
Why is that hard to believe?
Because I
But
talked to you off camera. That's why
the
that's hard to believe.
but did I say that she's broken and dusty and she's fucking don't have no support or anything like that? No,
I gotta shut down this phone.
she's doing just fine. She just don't have a man, and then she don't have. I think that
But you're a
somebody
good man. So I don't understand why you're a good man and she
doesn't
don't.
have me because she
Yeah.
doesn't because you don't she don't deserve me. That's why she, she only can appreciate me in my absence. So that's why I'm absent. And she's not a good woman. And really, I shouldn't have been with her as long as I was with her. It was insane. It was crazy work.
Diabolical.
Thank you. That's what you call downsizing. What the hell is
Oh,
this?
yeah, real down.
Oh, Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but my my
but I'm
point.
gonna get no. I'm gonna get into that a little bit more because I don't want to. As men, we never want to like assume that victim position, but a lot of times it's very much the case. If I'm not just because I'm not with her, does that mean that I lost? Because you're assuming that I'm a bad man because I'm not with
No,
her. That,
assuming that you're a bad man, but I'm saying if you
but
were,
that's what you just insinuated.
no, I'm not
So maybe
insinuating
I
that you are a self-proclaimed good man. You're a self-proclaimed good man, and so if you are that, then you would know how to make a relationship work. You would know how to handle your woman. You
no,
claim,
that's not. It's not all on me. It's
hey,
not.
that
All,
means
I have to have a standard too. I have to have a standard too. And when she doesn't meet my standard,
that before you locked it in. You should have knew before you made kids that this was not your standard. You know what I mean?
well,
A good man would
well,
know
well,
that. So I'm
no,
just saying, just
no, because I was 21 years old at the time.
right, right, right. And so she was probably,
Well, so are you saying you feel like you have
she
evolved?
probably didn't
It
know no
sounds
better
like.
either, you know?
I didn't know what the fuck I was really doing.
Hmm.
When I was doing what I was doing, that got me in the position that I got, that I had, I ultimately found myself in. But
Right. Learn
what
as
I
a
did was I
learning.
stuck.
Like
Yeah, I
everybody.
stuck.
And yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no offense. Sorry.
Again, age is relative because it's you could be 17 and have the maturity of
Well,
have
you don't
mature.
have the life experiences though.
You could be
Because
$105 and
who's
be
telling 17-year-old boys to watch out for these wildebeests? Nobody.
oh, I
Who's
don't know.
telling a 17-year-old to have standards to watch
Hopefully
where you
they're
put your seed there? Make sure the
hopefully
bitch ain't
they're
crazy. Make
right.
sure the bitch got a dad. Who's telling young black men this? Nobody told me that.
Well, I don't have a dad. Does that mean I'm broken? I mean, I am
I
broken.
mean a bit. I mean a bit.
A good woman.
No, but
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
I
Well,
have a
No,
dad.
broken
My
when
is
you were
dad,
right.
21,
my dad didn't raise me though. Like I
when
don't.
you were
Right.
21, were you the woman that you were when you were 21 that you are now?
I mean, no, I don't. I would hope not. Think I've learned and grown. Uh, but I mean, fundamentally, in terms of character traits, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that I wasn't. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I was getting myself into that.
Well,
And that's
that's my
okay.
point.
That's a hundred.
That's
I
my
mean,
point, no face. I can clearly say I definitely am not the same woman I was at 21. I didn't know shit at 21. I probably didn't know shit at 31. Knew a little something. Just a
Yeah,
little.
but she knew more about because she comes from a long line of home breakers that was called home wreckers.
Your ex you're talking about?
Yeah. Holy
That
shit.
could be true. That could be true.
I'm sorry. Yeah, she come from. So she was like doing little shit that later on I figured out why she was doing these things because she was just playing. She was just leveraging the whole time.
mm,
But the
For
the
example,
look. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. For example, just like when um when we had our first kid and she didn't want me to put my name on the birth certificate. I'm like, what the fuck? And then she kind of like had an attitude about it because this is like her mom. She didn't have no dad on her birth certificate. She has three sisters. They all, it's like I had no idea what the fuck I was getting myself into, but she knew exactly what she was doing. She was running those plays
No,
and she was
wrong.
being coached up
Yeah,
the whole
wrong.
time.
She was
that's
being coached
crazy.
wrong.
Yeah, she was given poor information.
Right. And she never was like taught how to. And I tried to like this is what my cousin's going through right now, trying to fix a bitch, but you really can't.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Oh,
If
oh,
someone is,
oh, oh, so you knew she needed fixing when you went into it.
No. I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
a real story. It's gonna maybe might be hard to believe,
probably not.
but
No.
when 3 months after I met her, she was pregnant. The moment that she realized that she found out she was pregnant, that's when I met her. That's when I met the real her. She been that ever since. Like instantly. And the bitch went to jail that day, that same day.
Oh wow.
No face.
I
Okay, you
swear to
got
God.
okay. What happened? Tell what? Can you tell a
Well,
little
she
bit
just had an
more?
attitude like, first of all, oh my gosh, see this
It
no.
should have been a celebrational day. It should have been
Right.
a day
Well,
for you guys. If you
yeah, she
guys,
was acting like I did something so terrible to her. I'm like, what the fuck? This bitch told me that she couldn't get pregnant. This was a real life, like there's wildebeest, and then there's fucking then there's this girl, she's on a different level. I'm
wait,
not
wait,
gonna hold
you're
you.
talking about two different girls now?
No, the same girl.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying, like,
He's saying there's
she's
wildebeest type of women, and then there's this person he's referring
she's
to.
on a different level.
It's worse, it sounds like, or at least
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So just so I understand, no face, because I'm with you so far. You said the minute she found out she was pregnant, she switched faces and she became the wildebeest, right?
Instantly. Instantly.
Can you tell me what happened so I can pick?
Well, she comes in the room and then she's like, has a pregnancy test. I'm like, oh shit, you're pregnant? That's crazy. And then she's like an emotional wreck. And it's like, why did you? She's acting like I did something so terrible to her. And then she starts acting crazy, like an insane person. And I'm like, I don't even know. I never really dealt with this type of situation before. So I'm not really sure what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this crazy person.
So acting
So
like
I
an
tried to.
insane person,
was
like
she
hitting
hitting
you,
you,
throwing
throwing
shit.
stuff?
No, she was just being erratic and like I'm trying to talk to her, and then she's like saying I can't even really remember because it's been so many. I just remember me saying, "Well, I'm about to leave, man, because you're acting crazy." And then I just remember her sitting on me and then like making me like trying to keep me from leaving. And then I'm like, "You got to get off me! Like this is like not this ain't cool, Like I never felt like that was my first time. Like no, it wasn't my first time, but that was the first time like being tested by her.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like the only way I can get out of the situation is to get physical with her because she's literally holding me hostage. And I told her like if you don't get off me, I'm gonna call the police. And then I picked up, I got my phone and I pushed 911 and I showed it to her and then she pushed call and then I was like, what the fuck? This girl is crazy. And I hung up and then they kept calling me back, calling me back. I'm like, I'm just gonna answer it and then tell them like it was an accident. And then as soon as I answered the phone, she starts screaming like bloody murder. Like it's very disturbing. That's why I'm like talking about this, but she starts screaming. He starts screaming like he's got drugs, he got drugs, he's got drugs. And I'm like,
Wait,
and
wait,
then
what did
obviously
your baby mama or
She's
just
black.
curious. Just curious. Okay.
two one of them crazy light skinned bitches, bro.
Okay.
Nah, but she yeah, then like obviously like I couldn't like the police are on their way now because I'm trying to be like, oh, it's an accident, and then just a crazy lady screaming in the background, he's got drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So like not that so I'm like, man, we just play it cool because we were staying in this apartment. It was kind of like the police weren't gonna know exactly where we were. But this crazy girl, she just kept screaming, 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 screaming. So as soon as the police got there, they just followed the fucking noise,
Mm-hmm.
opened the door, and then she starts wilding out on them. And then she ended up getting like low key bodied by the cop. I probably would have went to jail that day, but she was so crazy that she went to jail. There was no investigation. She just walked in there. She started talking crazy to them. She got snatched up a little bit, and then she's looking. I remember her saying, "You're gonna let them do this to me?" And I was like, "Oh man, I got me a situation right here." And then she went to jail. And then they were like, she said something about drugs. Is there any drugs in here? I'm like, fuck no. And that was the end of that. But that was a real story.
That was a terrible story. That was
That
a
was a
terrible.
real story. That was
Yeah,
the time. That was the day I met her for real.
and y'all had known each other how long before that?
3 months. And
Well,
then she was, yeah, yeah, yeah.
no,
Oh, she was crazy. She was a crazy woman. Like she's crazy as fuck.
Well, I'm gonna refrain from. I'm glad you shared the story.
I can't believe. Oh yeah, how do we even get on that?
I don't know, but I'm glad you shared the story. That was some good insight
Oh
into
yeah, I remember why.
you
It's
know,
because
trying to
it's
explain.
like hard to believe. It's hard to believe that I don't have nothing. I had some. I didn't have something to do with it. Or I failed. I did fuck up by fucking with the girl initially, and I did have a baby, another baby with her 7 years later. So I not take responsibility for that, but
Time.
yeah. And I was just trying to do the right thing, and I don't really regret doing that either. I didn't want multiple baby mamas,
You shouldn't regret it.
and I
Nobody
didn't want her to have. I didn't want her to stray
have
too
multiple
far away.
daddies.
Yeah,
Right, that's the way it should be.
So it worked out all right, but then I'm still kind of in a. I'm still a little bit of a pickle right now, but even though I know that she's on the next level, like there's a lot of other women that are not too far, and some of them are right there with her. Remember, I choked a girl. I tell you, I choked a girl on my birthday.
At the party.
Yep,
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yep. She's one of them too.
Friend, right?
Yep. Just a just crazy. And she just stabbed her boy. She gonna stab her boyfriend
Oh, you told me
over
about
the summer, and then she's at my birthday party in January. So there's no accountability. So when
well,
there's never,
for certain people there well, I don't know about no accountability, but everybody still got to take accountability all the way around
I'm
because
telling you, women really don't. They're not required to. You can stab your boyfriend in the summer, and then you're getting choked out by your childhood friend
well, I know
in, in
there's men
January.
who abuse their women too. You know, there's examples on both sides.
I don't know if it. I don't know. I don't know any men that just be just abusing women like that.
I do. I don't know the man. I know the woman.
Exactly. Exactly. Because you don't hear the man's story.
I don't hear the man's story. I see the girl's face. What are you talking about?
Well, what the fuck? Did you ask her? Do you ask her what did you do? Like you said that you claimed that you did. Like what the fuck did you do?
Well,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying.
police. Yeah, I asked, what did you do?
Say it
Because you
again.
don't have to put your hands on nobody to get your point across. A man don't have to beat on a woman, not beat on. Okay, you can. A man is he's strong enough where he can just pop you one good time, and that could stop the whole show. He don't have to beat you to a pulp to get his point across.
I don't know. I
Man
mean,
can't
I don't think.
better.
Yeah. Anytime you see a woman battered and bruised, then obviously that's a problem. That's not.
Well, that yeah,
But
that's what I'm talking about. But
But to say you could just pop a bitch in her mouth and then she's gonna just be like, "Oh my god, sit down." No, she's gonna get ignited. It's gonna be a whole ass problem.
that's very possible. Maybe you need
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. 100%.
find a way to handle that. You know, I don't know what to tell you in your relationship because I'm not in it. Maybe you need to figure it out before it even gets to that. I don't know what to tell you. You say you found out the day she found out she was pregnant, and that should have been a celebratory day, and it turned out to be somebody in
Okay.
jail and somebody getting body slammed. That's horrible. That's horrible to even have to remember. You know, this is y'all memories of each other. I haven't heard, and I talk to you a lot off camera, and I haven't heard one good story about y'all two yet.
No, you won't.
That's crazy.
I know it is crazy. And I went through a lot. I went through a lot to try to keep my family intact. And a lot of men wouldn't be willing to do what I did. And then
Mm-hmm.
I had to get the fuck out. Eventually, like it was just getting too much. Well, it was really my friend died. That crazy girl that stabbed her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That happened in April.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another friend that that lived out there that was killed by his baby mama. That happened within a week, and then I'm in a car with this crazy girl, and she's talking crazy, which I became numb to. But she's talking crazy, like she's talking crazy, and then I'm thinking like, yeah, these girls are kind of getting out of control, and I can't just be acting like,
Is a problem too.
yeah. I'm like, I'm not trying to get killed by this bitch, you know what I mean? So that's when I just ultimately left her. So it was I can credit though that my childhood friend that got murdered by his baby mama and that white wildebeest for stabbing her baby daddy for like making me like say, okay, this is enough because I know that I'm not giving this girl what she wants from me, and it had been a while, and her behavior just getting worse and worse, and I just need to get up. She's not going to leave, so I had to leave.
Look,
And I end up losing my kids as a result of it, but that's just the price you
but
pay,
you're fighting for that right now. So,
huh?
you're fighting for that right now. Your kids,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've only seen,
That's a battle.
yeah, I've
So
only seen them two months out of the last 18 months.
that's terrible. You.
Yeah, that's because she knew she had that kind of power, and she knows nobody's gonna hold her accountable. So when I'm calling the police on her, the last time I called the police on her, there's no arrest being made, and I
Yeah.
just kind of figured it out, like because if that did that would be helping my case right now. So I feel like the system is like have thought is real. They're real progressive and like thinking forward, and that's why they don't arrest women. I feel like I know that women do get arrested, but for the most part, they try their hardest not to arrest them, and they're real eager. They don't hesitate when it comes to arresting the man. And my little cousin just got arrested. He's trying to get away from his wife right now. She found out that he was looking through to at divorce lawyers and stuff. She
Mhm.
crashes out and gets him arrested immediately, like that same moment. And now if he wants to try to win a custody battle, he just caught some charges for domestic violence, even though they're about to get thrown out because they were all about some bullshit. I got arrested for domestic violence just because a bitch says that I did kick this is my crib though. It was our crib at the time. I did kick the door in because she's trying to lock me out of my crib.
Mhm.
But she called the police on me and just, now I got felony awards, I got felony warrants and shit. Like these girls got too much
You
power, you
pleaded
know?
guilty.
Huh?
You pleaded guilty.
No, that shit got dropped.
Oh.
But see, because they could just make stuff up. The police will just still charge you with it. She's saying that it's her crib, which it was her crib, but I was living there. We both were living there. This is when I'm 21, and I bust the door in. I kicked the door in. Fuck, man, that sounds crazy. I did kick the door in though. I
Yeah, that
kicked the
does
door
sound
in,
crazy.
grabbed my beers, and grabbed my keys and dipped out.
There's a
My
lot.
lawyer, my
Um,
lawyer's got a kick out of that shit.
there's a lot to unpack with that, and I do want to make a comment. When I was talking and I didn't realize y'all couldn't hear me.
Oh
Oh,
shit, yeah.
Uh,
you was gone for a long time. Hoping you weren't talking that
I was
whole
like,
time.
why can't nobody hear me talking? But I grew up in an abusive household, so I can attest that men do just abuse, like, and women too, like, for that matter. Like, it's not
Mhm.
gender specific. Like, anybody can be an abuser, and I think the point is, you don't have to use your hands to get your point across in any situation. Like, it just that shouldn't be an option. And if you have been around violence, you are more likely to use it unless you're allowing yourself to be aware that, hey, this is when it's time to walk away, and once my relationship has gotten to that level, I need to just to end things because you're not in a healthy environment.
Yeah, I think if yeah, I mean that's and a lot of women go through a lot of that shit, but they never leave, or they don't leave. It takes them a long time, too long to leave.
But we're
Hmm.
talking about you staying in the
Right,
abusive.
but I can never be identified as a victim, you know. So
All
Yeah,
you gotta
you
do is
can. You can be a victim, but you're also a participant because you're also putting your hands on the woman as well. It doesn't matter.
what part did I say that? See, where did you get that from?
You said you choked someone.
Oh well, yeah, I didn't know you heard that part.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, this was an incident on my birthday. This is a girl that I grew up with,
Hmm.
and she was just acting crazy as fuck. And then I tried to check her, and then she picked up a vase, threw out the branches. We were at an Airbnb, not her Airbnb. And then she's like tried to attack me with it. So I put her in a chokehold.
Hmm.
It was like the best thing I can do. And then I just subdued her. And then she's like, I couldn't, it was, yeah. But It wasn't like I had to protect myself.
I could have died.
Well, you can
Say the whole
rationalize
sentence.
it,
It was
right?
like
I
I
mean,
could have died.
yeah, we can all listen. I've put never in a relationship have I put my hands on people, but I've certainly gotten into fights and felt really good about my choices about them. It doesn't mean that emotion from an emotional intelligence standpoint it was necessarily the right thing to do, or maybe I could have done something different or better, probably. So it's just like, again, it's just more being accountable for our
Thank you.
actions.
That's all I. Thank you, Gina.
What? Okay. What the fuck was I supposed to do in that position, in that situation?
I don't know. If I was there, I could probably tell you. I mean, maybe
Well,
you
let me tell you,
maybe
it
you
was
did.
a bunch. It
Maybe
was
you.
me.
Mhm.
Actually, Trap Guy was there too. He was
Where's
right there.
Trap God? We need
Oh
Trap
no,
back.
he
You
never
know,
came back.
Oh
Trap
shit.
Guy was right there.
Okay.
Everybody was like, the girls
Not
were
to
kind of
choke you.
tripping.
We not talking. We are okay. Maybe you was justified. That ain't your girl. We not talking
A
about her.
hundred, a
We not.
hundred percent. I was just.
but even so, I think it's not it's not about being justified in
You got
violence,
to protect yourself against these
right?
wildebeest.
Like, I mean,
They
yeah,
will hurt you.
I was justified, sure, in the fights I've been in too. It don't make it right, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't mean there wasn't an alternative of being violent. That's all I'm saying. Like, we
Tina,
always.
did you hear what I said? I'm not exaggerating the story. I'm not romanticizing the story.
I'm not.
The
I'm not
girl
saying you
picked
are.
up a base and attacked me with it. She swung it at me,
Hmm.
and then I subdued her.
But you also said you pushed your baby mom off of you when she was pregnant because she sat on you and wouldn't move.
And he laughed because the police body slammed her while she was pregnant.
Okay, first of all, I didn't say that I pushed her off her because I didn't push her off. I didn't push her off of me.
No, watch when this plays back. Watch it because you said she sat on me, so I pushed her off.
No, I said that she put me in a position where I had to get physical with her, or like something like that. I never pushed her off of me though.
No,
She
but
eventually,
watch
like
this
I stayed.
face.
And
You
physical sound
you
even worse than pushing her
Did
off
you
you.
hear?
you
What
said
did you
maybe
do? She
I
was
believe
pregnant.
that
No,
you.
but I didn't. I'm saying she's putting me in a position where the only thing I can do is get physical or just be stuck. And I was stuck. I was stuck there until the police got there.
Wasn't this a loving situation? It sounded like you was happy that she was pregnant.
It didn't
Um,
sound like
I
he was
wasn't
happy that
bummed.
she was pregnant.
I wasn't.
it
It
I
didn't
sounded
sound
wasn't
like
like
happy.
he was
upset.
indifferent.
It
It
didn't
sounded
sound
like
like he was upset. What
it
did what
sounded like he was indifferent to me because
Yeah, it wasn't like it
because
was
you
like
said to her you said you couldn't get pregnant, so that doesn't sound
he
happy.
he didn't say he said that to her. You said
no,
that
yeah, but you did tell me that though.
I know,
So it
but
was
you didn't
weird
say
that she was
that to
acting
her
that way.
in that moment.
I'm saying I don't see how you guys are. You guys are going to read it back. I never
Well,
pushed. I never said I pushed her, and I never. I didn't. Now I'm laughing. That's so crazy.
the point that
He was laughing when he said the police. Like,
you
man,
did
that was
say back though. I noticed
Yeah.
that. I didn't say nothing, but you did a crack.
was that a problem?
And you was like, and the police slammed her, you know. Yeah,
I said
because
like at least like low key bodied her, and then
yeah, Loki bodied her. Yeah,
but
because
but
somebody I cared about and the police put their hands on somebody I love in a certain way. I'm not ain't nothing funny about that. Period. So it sounds
so
like
in all that, so okay,
it,
all that shit that I said, you picked that out and said, how dare you chuckle, reminiscing about that shit? Like, what a bad person I am. Holy
I
shit.
didn't know you see that's
You
you.
know, I was in the fucking,
Person,
I was in the courthouse.
I
I
call
was in
you
the
back.
courthouse. I'll tell you another story. Quick
Mhm.
one. I'll try to make it quick. I'm in the fucking courthouse. I'm showing this. I'm playing a video of this girl going crazy, and she's talking about how she's gonna get somebody to kill me, and she's saying I can't even repeat the shit that she says. It's not for YouTube. She's saying all type of crazy shit, and she's saying that the kids aren't even mine. She's saying that she's a good liar when it comes to the police, and she'll trust me that she will get her way. I got all this shit recorded. I'm playing it in front of the judges, and then at one point she says, I want you to die." She says it 10 times in a row. I hope you die. I hope she said it 10 times in a row, and then there's like an awkward silence, and then I say, "Well, that's pretty mean to say," and then I chuckle. I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, girl, that's pretty mean. And I like chuckle a little bit. And then the fucking when they're making the ruling saying that they couldn't come to the conclusion that I was a victim of abuse because th- I didn't seem to be fearful and I was egging her on. And at one point I was laughing. That you just reminded me of that fucking judge. And it's crazy how women see things this way. Nigga,
It's
maybe I
crazy how
chuckle in uncomfortable situations. Maybe that's a little bit of that's how I like release tension.
And that
Now I'm
could be
being
very true. But
now I'm
it's
being a bad person.
well, she didn't say you were a bad person, and it's not about this is it's just I tell
Professional.
you this all the time at work, like it's social cues. It doesn't matter. That could be very true. You could chuckle when you're nervous, but unfortunately when we're in environments either professionally or at court, we have to behave a certain way in order to get the results that you want. You right,
no,
like
but
you're
he's showing the
Of
court a
course.
video of him
mhm,
and
Yeah,
his girl.
it was
yeah,
And
on the video. I chuckled in the
by
video,
what he did in that video, just
and then
like
right,
she said because I chuckled or I laughed,
yeah, no, people are gonna
that made it not abuse anymore.
well,
And
people
then
are gonna not have sympathy for the laughter, right? Like they're gonna be like, "You're not."
why?
how
How?
is no
When?
demeanor.
But it would be
I
the
mean,
same if a woman did it, right? If a woman was
No,
doing something
I'm glad you said that because it would not be the same at all.
but I think it would. I think it would be. I think there's proof of that just in what women are charged with as well from a domestic violence standpoint. Like there's a bunch of TikToks on women being violent with their, significant other and going to
women
jail
get
for it.
arrested just
Yeah.
like men nowadays for domestic violence.
Yep.
So women are facing a lot of the same thing. Maybe it's disproportionate, but disproportionately, men have they're stronger and they've been beating women's ass a lot longer than women been beating men's ass.
Right. Just, I mean, just simply because of the dynamic of what a woman could do, whatever 50, 60 years ago versus, the women having rights in today's environment. So
I mean,
it's
that's why those rights exist.
hmm
Fuck no.
That's
That's
not
not the no. These aren't rights, okay? This
no,
is
it's not
called.
a right to be abusive in any gender.
I just don't think. I honestly think that women are way more abusive than men. I
I
think there's
mean,
a reason.
I
I
know a
think
man
there's a.
killed
I,
his girlfriend. I mean, there's violence on both
okay,
ways.
okay. I know. But
So
I'm
I'm
just saying.
giving examples just like you gave examples.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that these things don't happen, and there's not a bunch of piece of shit men out there, and there's not a historically abusive culture within these dynamics. But that shit has totally been flipped on its head. But I was gonna say that I think there's a reason why God made men stronger than women. Because if women were stronger than men, then we all be fucking dead. And I'm not even joking about that.
Okay,
Because
explain.
because women are fucking crazy. And if they could, they would. And men, because we're stronger, well, because we're more instinctually protective and not wanting to hurt our women, we have the we're stronger
You
because we're
ain't
not going to
showing
hurt them. And if
an
women were stronger,
example of instinctual protection yet.
I don't know what everybody was going through, but I just know that I never ever got physical with a woman, um, that didn't deserve it type shit. No, before I always
All right,
protected
put it
myself.
in there.
Yeah.
I would tell her, no,
No,
I
but I'm
would tell her
talking
like
about
I'm not your
instinctual
fucking pinata,
protection.
bitch. Like next time I told her next time you, because okay, listen, I had got busted up. She had really caused a lot of bodily harm to me,
You're talking
and I
about
remember,
your mama again or your
yeah,
friend?
a lot of I had to beat up a lot of girls in my day
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
when I
wait,
was
which one is it? First you said you haven't put your hands on any woman
listen.
that didn't deserve
But
it.
didn't I
And
say
then
that
you
didn't
were
deserve it?
like,
Then I
I
say that
had
didn't deserve it.
I had to beat up a lot of women in my day. Like I'm just
Hmm.
like,
A
wait,
lot of I said a lot of girls because when I was
okay.
coming up, girls would do that shit when I was little because I was a cute little boy, and some girls didn't know how to fucking um they would try to fight me, you know.
Okay.
Or they would think it was cute to punch me and like, I'm not your fucking pinata, bitch. I will beat you up. And I had to learn. I had to like say, okay, enough is enough. And I had to start when I was like in fifth grade. Like I'm not about to no all this never hit a girl shit. So I'm out here being a fucking punching bag. Fuck all that. And I never got in trouble for that shit. That was pretty good. But then I go come into adulthood and I'm dealing with similar things,
Oh, I wonder why. That's so strange.
because women they think that they can just do whatever to you and you have to take it.
Yeah,
So I remember,
I don't agree with that premise
Yeah,
because I
totally disagree with that.
yeah,
Maybe the
I'm not.
women you deal with, maybe it's the type of women you attract.
bro, I swear to God, almost every fucking woman I know and every man that I know has a woman that's hella fucking aggressive physically, overly aggressive. I don't know if it's something in the water. I don't know what it is, but I
You got
also know that.
a lot of masculine women just from the energy that you give in.
Oh
From
my God, you see how it's always like, how is it our
well,
fault?
I
Because
mean,
it's just
men
everything. Wait, let
towards
me
you.
say this really quick. Everything is everyone's fault. It's
They
No,
always
I think
their
you know
fault.
what I
It's
think it is.
always
I think
their
it's
fault.
society's
It's
fault.
always their fault. Like it's called accountability. Like we have to be accountable
right,
for the things like for our interaction. It
and
doesn't
we
mean like
bring to
you
the
weren't
table.
it doesn't mean you weren't done wrong, no face. Like that could absolutely be true, but it's just more of taking accountability for our part in the situation.
Okay, so I would ask this humbly and respectfully:
What should I have
what
done differently?
what part should I be held accountable for? Obviously, you don't. You're just going off of what I've told you.
Right. I was
Right.
just gonna
So
say
we
that.
only
Yeah.
heard
So
your side of the story. Number one.
Exactly. So you're automatically assuming that I'm telling that what I'm saying is true. It can't be because I couldn't have done this. I have to somehow deserve this type of treatment.
Well, it's not
I
And I
that
don't
tell
think that.
I can
No,
believe
I
that
don't.
what you said happened.
Yeah,
I
me
have
no,
too.
things happen, but it doesn't mean that you have no accountability in it.
It
You have
just like I said when I said I was in fights, like I had to beat the shit out of people too. Like, girls growing up. Like, so but it doesn't remove me being accountable. Could I have made different choices instead of fighting those people? Absolutely. But I
well,
didn't.
you're not
And
like it's not like I any of these interactions with girls. I was like, yo, 3 o'clock at the monkey bars was going down. They would just attack. There
yeah,
was no warning. There wasn't an agreement.
mhm.
So it's different.
I'm trying
But
to
I didn't have that either. It wasn't like I was like, oh, let's meet. I was attacked in some cases too. So then
but
So when you're attacked, you just got to do it. I mean, what your instincts? I
see,
mean,
choose a
let's
different.
get to the situation when you found out she was pregnant. This was supposed to be a joyous occasion, and it went bad immediately. So it sounded like Georgina said you were indifferent, and it sounded like you might have agreed with her with that. You weren't necessarily happy. You were indifferent to it, and that may have caused the reaction that your girl gave.
all right, Doctor Phil, I was there, so that's not what it was.
Well, I'm just assuming. I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
no, I'm saying because it's hard to believe that these women are this crazy, and you
No,
guys never
No,
seen.
or she
Oh,
could have just been. No,
not,
I've seen
not hard
more
to
crazy
believe.
women. No, I
Right.
100% believe that she could have just been crazy. That absolutely
Yes.
could be a fact. I don't think you're misstating that at all. I think it's just more of, I think it's the way you're presenting it. Like, oh, I couldn't, like there's absolutely nothing. I think it's just more of, is
it is
there
that.
a path for
It
you
that,
to see in any situation where you maybe could have done something different? I think is
well,
just
if I could have, I wasn't equipped at that in that moment. But there's really nothing I could have done.
And that's fair.
There really,
That could very well could be the case.
there really was nothing I could do because I was not ready for that, and I didn't see it coming, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. But
Right.
all I did was sit there and then and then tell her I was going to call the police, and then she did the rest. And I was like kind of relieved, honestly. But she did not get off. She didn't get off of me until the police got there, and then she got arrested immediately because she was calling crazy on it. She was just. I've never seen a person act like that before, but
Hmm.
I've seen it since, of course.
Hmm.
But, but I never seen that. I remember like maybe within a couple months before that, I was at my brother's house and he had this little girl. He had this girl that we were younger, and I just seen, and they were like getting into it, and I just seen her punch, like just take off on him and just punch him in the face. I've never seen no shit like that in my life, but I've seen it a lot since then, you know. But I was just kind of like being introduced to the wildebeest.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say
they're
I have a lot of female friends, and I don't know any of them who have initiated a fight with a man.
well, they don't do it in front of their friends. I'll tell you that
No,
because nobody.
I've been in. Listen, I'm
I
not
had a
trying
friend
to
that
be.
initiated a fight with a man with her
I
group.
You said what?
I had a friend that initiated a fight with a man
with
with her
Yeah,
group.
with their significant other.
Hmm.
Man,
I'm
that's
saying,
crazy work.
I seen that one time. Yeah, I was tripped out by it.
yeah,
So
that's
I'm gonna go
crazy to
slap
me.
the shit out of him.
If I, and it's not like my friends are like hiding it from it. What I'm saying is, I just so happen to have friends who do not do that because we understand. Like we just would. Why would I try to fight a man? That sounds crazy.
A lot of these girls think that they can beat up because these girls are kind of man.
Well, it
They're
don't
influenced.
sound like. Let me just stop you right now. They are masculine, a lot of them, but it don't sound like she was trying to fight you at that time. If we're still talking about when
No,
you,
no, she wasn't trying to fight me at that time. But
I was
she did
talking
that.
about
She did.
the situation with his brother.
Oh yeah, she just stole
oh,
off on him, popping right in his shit. And she's been going crazy. She's still going around doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe make better, make healthier choices with the women in your life.
No, for sure that. But also, I don't want it to be go without saying that. I don't want to go without saying that there's more of these women running around than one would be comfortable with believing. And I've been through this with my mom too. Like she just will say, like, I just don't understand why you guys mess with these girls. It's like it's not just these girls, man. They're fucking everywhere. They're all over the place. And now she understands. This is like years and years ago. Now she understands a little bit more what I was talking about. But
But I think I would challenge that thought because it's like whatever you believe, you'll see more of. Like
that's not true.
that would be like me if I'm just keep
no,
getting
that is
into
absolutely
abusive ass relationships with men who keep putting their hands on me and I'm like, it's just this is how men are. Like, no, that sounds crazy. Like I must be opening myself up to abuse. I have to want more for myself. That's not a thing. There is
But
many men and
no,
women who don't put their hands on people. Like that's just not normal or even okay. Like,
yeah, but I think that every generation of women has been degenerating more and more. So these younger girls, even younger, they're getting worse and worse. So I don't think that you guys experiencing your friends and you guys experience it as much as what's happening right now. What's happening in my generation, and
look,
then what's happening in the younger generations
okay,
also.
yeah,
so
so I guess that we don't see that you guys, you youngsters,
first of all,
Well, I'm not even.
I am
very
in
toxic relationship.
I am not. First of all, let's back up because this age thing is about to piss me the fuck off. Because I
Well,
am
relax,
in the
okay? Relax.
generation. First of all, I am not. I don't know what generation you think I'm in, but
Oh,
I'm pretty sure we're in the same generation. Okay, so
yeah.
Well,
I
well
am a
no,
millennial. Let's be clear. I'm a millennial. So and I'm not an old millennial either. So like let's just get that clear. And
I'm pretty sure you're Gen X, yo.
my friends, let me
Oh,
explain that. My friends range from 20s to 50s. So I have a very vast dynamic of people and people I date as well. So the dynamic is vast. So it's not when you're talking about if you're talking about a young girl, someone who's 21 or or if you're talking about somebody who's 55, like my dynamic of demographic of people I engage with is vast.
Yeah.
yeah, but you are a very calm person, so you're probably not gonna have friends that are wildebeest. But no,
No, I have
regardless
friends.
of.
No. Don't get it twisted. Don't let the kindness and the spirituality on here fool you.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, I don't. I
I
don't.
I'm all about. I have I am about whatever I need to be about when I need to be about it. So
Mm.
my friends are not necessarily mirror images of me.
But still,
However, they all do not put their hands on men because they understand what that could bring if they do. Even the
okay, well that
most ratchet,
I could.
the crazy, I have some ratchet, crazy, in your face baddies type of bitches who could be right on there in there fighting a bunch of bitches who would never put their hand on a man because they know what that would bring.
Well, well. So I'm sorry for triggering you.
It's like,
Yo, yo, don't. I know that you're crazy too. Don't. We're right. I understand. I understand. I wanted to no, but seriously, if you think that I'm making this shit up,
Nobody's
I
doing
think that,
think
I
that.
think
you're
that,
making it up.
Hey,
no, no,
The
but I,
part,
no,
the
I
part
do think,
that I'm saying you need to challenge your thinking about is if I was coming
oh,
to you and I was like, no face, every man I'm messing with is abusive, you'd be like, pause. Like,
but
Gina,
that's not what I said though. I've
you
only,
I told you can't use metaphors with these YNs. You cannot. They don't understand
I'm
them.
a YN now.
I
No,
don't
it
know.
wasn't a,
You
no,
talk
no, I'm saying,
about them. You in situations like them. You might as well be them.
no, 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 no. What I was saying is that I've seen other people. I've only been challenged like that by one person. But no, within a relationship. But I have like the other, coming up, I had to deal with some ratchets, But and then the girl that happens that from my childhood, she's a crazy person, and anybody that knows her knows that. I think you know who I'm talking about, Nicole.
Yeah, but we know there's crazy out there. We
there's
know that.
crazy in all like we have got to stop making this about age, about race, about creed, about gender. There are people in any fucking demographic who are crazy, and they're
But okay,
and the thing, the only point I was trying to make is you are choosing, not you but the proverbial you, if that is what you keep encountering, it's because you're choosing it.
no,
Ooh.
it's just what I keep. It's what I keep seeing. It's not what I'm encountering like in my personal life. This is why, like,
Keep
this is a big
saying
You
part.
don't
We're
have
talking.
to, though. You don't have to encounter it, is what I'm trying to explain. You don't have to. There's great women out there who are not abusive, who can have a relationship with you or your friends or whoever it is.
exactly.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not seeing it. But like me, for me, I'm not gonna lie because
You don't expect to see it, so you won't.
That's right,
I don't see.
exactly.
See, I don't believe that. But
Hmm.
but but but
And so,
honestly, like,
and that won't be your reality. Whatever you believe is what you will see, and that's just period.
Period.
yeah. But also what I see is what I'll believe. That's a bar right there.
But what
And what I
you only see, you'll
okay, look at
only
you,
see
hater, hater on the
comfort.
left.
No,
You
no,
tried.
yeah, the bar was great, but it's called
look
comfort
Was
talking about it.
it? This shit was
at
whack.
this hater over here. No, but what I see is what I believe. Like,
But you'll only see if you keep believing that that's all there is and that's all you'll see, then you'll
What
just
they
keep
say about
seeing more of
sight?
that.
What they say about sight, Gina? We only see like 7% of what's really there,
Oh
and we
yeah,
don't
right.
see the other 90.
Your brain will only allow you to see the events that are familiar to you. So you don't even see 100% of what you should be. Like it's kind of like your brain is kind of like your FYP. Like so if you only click and like certain things on your FYP, you only see certain things on your FYP, right? So then
Yeah.
your brain is the same way. So if you only think and believe, oh, if all women are toxic, all women are abusive, all women will put their hands on me, then that is exactly what you will get in your environment.
Great analogy. I think he got
yeah, but
that
that's not what I'm saying though.
one. I think he got that one. Got that under face.
No, but no, I didn't.
That
But
metaphor.
mostly because you co-signing that echo chamber that you're being on there is like it's like throwing me off. It's like
Oh,
really rubbing me the wrong way. It's like
oh, oh, shit. We don't want to rub you the wrong way.
nah, because then I start going crazy. No, but that's not what I'm saying though. It's not. I'm not saying that. Well, first of all, I don't. I am a little bit because I'm like disassociated. I'm not really open to dealing with getting into a relationship right now. But it's not
Mm-hmm.
my relationship that I'm seeing that. I'm seeing it.
Right.
outside. I'm seeing it at other places. I'm seeing it with my relatives. I'm seeing it with my friends, and I'm just seeing it in I'm just seeing it in random places.
Do you see
Like
any positive relationships? Because now we're to the how do we rebuild trust and unity in relationships? Are you
right,
seeing
right. I want to like
just look in your family? Let's start there. Any positive relationship?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can only think of one though, for real.
Okay, I can think of one too. We probably thinking of the same one.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can think of the same one,
Are you talking
for real
about your
though.
sister? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. 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 I think that's a beautiful example right there. So you know
Wait,
that
you guys
fits.
just said the name of who you guys are thinking of?
Chanel and Charles.
Oh,
That's
Chanel.
what I was
Okay,
thinking.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
No, she just called me too.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
think
have to.
that's
I'm gonna hit
a
her.
great example. Um, would you want that? What they have? Could you see yourself having that? Let me ask that.
I don't know, man. Like I'm not really thinking about that right now because I'm too dialed in on what I got going on right now. So I gotta like get past that before I can think about that. Still going through shit.
I okay, I get that, but you're still a human being. You're a man. You're gonna need a companion, right? And
Not
not
really though. I'm not sure if I will.
okay. Well, okay. There.
I know that's crazy work. I know you guys like what the
Not
fuck.
crazy work. That's what I'm asking. Do you see yourself in at the end of whatever you finish going through, whatever you're going through? Do you see yourself settle down with one woman and barbecuing in the backyard and having family time and um just
Ooh, I'm
settling
not sure.
down and enjoying each other? Do you see happiness? Do you see that for yourself?
Well, happiness. I think I could live a content life. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure about that. When I think about my future, I don't think about that.
You don't think about a relationship at all.
No, no, no. I don't.
Yeah,
Not,
yeah.
but that's where I'm at right now with it. But you understand, like
That's
I had a
probably where
year
a lot
off.
of people are.
Say it again.
I think that's where a lot of people are. They're not.
Yeah,
You're not even thinking about a fucking relationship. It has to literally drop in your fucking lap.
yeah, exactly. It's
Nobody
got to
feels
be real convenient, you know.
to look for no relationship with no fucking strangers. Yeah, no, no, no. You're not doing that.
Yeah, but
I
then sometimes you come across a person though that really sparks your interest. So if that happens, that's fine. That kind of just happened naturally. It's not something I'm thinking about pursuing. I never had, these type of things work, and I think just with the way I vibrate right now is not, it doesn't align me with that. So once that changes, it could change. But right now, I'm not thinking about that. It actually kind of like uh it's kind of I don't yeah it doesn't make it don't feel I don't want to it makes me feel weird thinking about that. I don't want to deal with no girls right now, and you could probably get that impression the
oh
way I talk. Yeah,
yeah,
the way
exactly.
I talk, but it doesn't does that slow but it doesn't make me it just makes me more, even though it sounds, I don't know, you might not agree, but it makes me more attractive to women that I don't want, that I'm not looking for them, does that
You
make sense at all? That's
Yeah,
why
I
when
can
you
see
put,
that
that.
makes sense. I could see that being the vibe if you're not paying attention to nobody.
Hmm.
That human nature.
right.
You
And then
comes.
when women give me energy like that, it just makes me, it turns me off. It's weird. It's weird. Like I'm a repellent right now to that type of energy. So I'm not gonna get it. I'm not open to it.
Wow,
But it's
deep.
because of what I'm going through right now. I got a couple more months. I got a couple more months. I think shit, I have no idea actually how long this shit's gonna last, but that's all I'd be thinking about for real right now.
Right.
And I'd be like helping other people, like I'd be mentoring people and like I try to help other people navigate their relationships.
Nobody. Don't in relationship. Oh, please, y'all, whoever he mentoring, don't answer that phone. No face ain't the one.
Well,
No face
you don't know
don't
because you
mention nobody on no relationship because you ain't mentioned a happy instance of any relationship yet. You don't have a good example of one. So you can't give a good example of one. You can't lead nobody to a good outcome. So don't listen to No Face, whoever he's mentoring. Don't answer the phone. That's
I'm
all.
not calling them
Oh,
either.
don't call this nigga for no advice. Y'all really crazy.
No, it's I mean, you got people understand what I'm going through. So when they go through certain similar things, they want to.
That makes you
I,
even more the wrong person. That makes you even more the wrong person. So,
well, you're
um,
not letting me finish because it's a difficult. What you're not understanding is it's just a difficult thing that men go through. It's a
yeah.
difficult thing that it's a hard reality for what we're dealing with right now. So when it happens to other people, people tend to reach out to me and ask me like how to deal with it and how to move within it because it's a difficult thing. So especially when you first start getting into that uncomfortable break, you know, so and it's a lot of times it's harder for the men, especially because when a woman breaks up with a man, he doesn't just lose the woman, he loses his children as well. So we have to, and that's something that I don't think you guys are really. When I say that women don't really love us like that, and they don't really see us as humans, like I was telling you earlier,
Mm-hmm.
that's another good example of that. Because you don't think that you think just because how I talk about or how how I deal with that, how men deal with this type of shit, that it would be crazy for because you think that the goal is to try to figure out how to work it out with some no it's the some people just need to learn how to cope with the reality of the situation that they're in, because women have been weaponized, and this is a part of this topic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Women have been incentivized. Basically, they have us over a barrel. So if we don't get on their program, then they're gonna spank us. So it's impossible for a man to have to be happy or to be content when that is the dynamic of the relationship. So eventually, it's gonna be a breakup, and then the breakup is hard to deal with. So the two guys that were supposed to be here, both of them haven't seen their kids. The one guy I had because I had navigated a situation to so where he could see her, where he could see his kid. He didn't see his kid for 3 months, for 3 weeks. I don't know if he was going to touch on that, but I did that. You know what I'm saying? So if you would have said, "Don't hit up No Face," because no, that's not true. That's not the
Uh,
what you.
you said for relationship advice. Maybe you can guide him through the courtroom because you're dealing with the child custody battle. But in the case, because this man is married with 2 kids, and you have the attitude of the bitch is wrong and the bitch shouldn't do this and the bitch got to learn, you the wrong one to talk to. Because I'm sure you not telling this nigga how to keep his family together. That's all. If that's what you're saying, if you telling him and schooling him on how to keep his family together, then you the one to call.
No, because you think that that's what's best for the men. You think that a man having living his life.
And not breaking up the family. You just said she the one when she breaks up the family. Well, he can keep the family together. If you not telling him, showing him how to keep the family together, then you not doing what's best for the unit. What
Okay.
happened to the family happiness? You guys want to point that women are selfish because they only care about their happiness. Now you're talking about the man's happiness. What about the kids? What about the family? What about the unit? What about society?
Well,
We don't have
there's
nobody.
nothing he could do about it at this point.
Well,
So it's
no,
not.
listening to you, he probably been listening to you the whole time and end up in the same situation as you because you said he went to jail for some shit and now him and his girl having these back and forth jail battles.
No,
Whoever.
that was my really that was the youngster.
Okay.
But yeah, he's going to do a similar thing too, where he hasn't seen his kids in a minute. He got a situation similar but different.
It's
But
bad.
I'm not telling
Bad.
I'm not helping these men. I'm not trying to tell these men how to navigate staying with a woman. You
You're
know.
just you're being an ear and you're being a friend. I know that. And that's what women do. Like when you talk about the echo chamber, nobody points out the accountability to the other person.
Yes,
You know,
we do.
if somebody is coming to you with, the issues they hurt and pain and complaining about their mates, a lot of times the friend will, just agree with them and be like, yeah, that bitch ain't shit. Nigga, you right to do this. You right to do that. And then women do the same thing to their friends. Yeah, bitch, you was right to do this, to go out of town without that nigga, and you can do what he can't tell you nothing. Everybody is
Listen. Okay,
you
so
on the
let me
wrong.
tell you. I'll tell you some real shit. Like I have like I be having like real interactions and real conversations and communications with men that you guys wouldn't see, you know. So I talk about like deeper shit, you know, than what I would talk than what you would see.
Okay,
So it's really more about helping them cope with the situation that they're in, you know,
I feel
and
that.
then giving them that comfort that it's not just them that's going through it and it's fucked up, you know. So it's just
I am,
more, and there's nothing that you can do about it. There's
but
nothing
there
that
is
we can do about it.
always something you can do about it. There's
No, there's
always
not.
something you can do. There's always something you can do about it. But you know what? We gonna leave that to part two because I want the guys here. So
Oh
for
yeah,
Saturday show, lock in Trap God and your cousin. I want to hear more men's opinions. Um, we're at 2 hours now.
I know that was a doozy. That was a record.
For
My
real.
bad. I know I was ranting and
Gotta
shit.
try to cut this into some shorts and stuff,
Yeah.
some little reels and all of that because there was some gems. You guys both gave some some gems today. So
Yeah, and I would just say like to answer the question like how do we build trust and unity is to trust each other. Like when if one person like listen to one another instead of wanting to have a rebuttal. You know, everybody goes through what they go through, and it just trust and listen. And then once a person will show you who they are eventually,
trust
and
is
then
the
you'll know.
biggest thing,
Yeah,
but we gonna leave it there because that right there. See, I can go. See,
I
let me
could.
stop.
I
Right?
know.
Because when people show you where what they are, like what you just said, that's the problem. We think we know somebody because of what we see. When people lie, even when they lie out their mouth and they lie in their actions, especially when they have feelings for you, they
Mhm.
try to hide it.
Mhm.
So usually when they have feelings for you, what they're giving you is the opposite of how they feel.
Mhm.
So if they're being mean and trying to fight you and all of this because they want you to go, it's because they want you to stay. So we gonna leave it at that, y'all. We gonna have part two. Bring your boys. I'll bring my girls. And you guys, thank you. I had a great time. We
Same.
are out. Peace out, guys.
Peace.